If you want to make $100 a day in 2021, here is how I would go about it. I have several different options and some are rather unique or different to what other people would do. However, the easiest and best way in my opinion I've saved for last as it's a bit controversial, so let's see what you think. How to make $100 a day in 2021. The first way I would suggest is to utilize any skills you have and take jobs on websites such as Fiverr or Upwork or Airtasker or similar websites where people can post jobs or tasks they need done. Then you can bid to do those tasks or jobs, or they might contact you directly to get a proposal for these tasks. You can also post what type of work you can do and at what price. I actually read an article today about a student who dropped out of high school because they were earning $100,000 this year just on Fiverr. You could easily make $100 a day with many different skills, and if you did it for a year or two, you could even build up to making $100 an hour on these sites. To get started with this, you need to know what skills you have that people will actually pay for, such as design work, website development, creative work such as video editing, and so on. Even higher paying tasks such as sales or accounting or legal work or consulting on strategies and so on. Another trick with this to earn a lot is to hire people on the same site or another site and manage them to create a much larger task. For example, for me, I could offer the services of filmmaking and making promotional videos for a company, for example. I could film it myself, then hire an editor to edit it for me, a graphics animator to animate for me, and then a voiceover person for the audio. Then I use my skills to put it all together. The job of putting that all together is actually a high-paying skill as opposed to the individual tasks themselves. Obviously, the higher the quality of work, the more you can charge, especially if you have samples that you can point to. If you don't have any of these types of skills, you can learn them from YouTube. In fact, most skills you can learn from YouTube. If you want to learn to put together a WordPress website, you can learn WordPress on YouTube, and if you want specific stuff in WordPress, you can then search for that specifically. Project managing these tasks will actually earn you a lot more than $100 a day. A lot of people want a website, but they don't know what goes into putting a website together. So if you can figure out that they need a graphic designer for their logos and images, they need a coder to create the website, then hosting and domain registration, for example. If you manage that process for them, it's worth more than the competition on these sites to just say that I will write the WordPress code for a custom website for you. The average person doesn't know that that's only one aspect of a website. Also, the benefit of this is that these skills are transferable to most workplaces, so it will help you with whatever you want to do in your future for your career. You can then utilize these project management skills in that career. The next way to make $100 a day is to sell all your old stuff. Your house is probably full of stuff that you don't actually need anymore. Now, you might only have a small amount of stuff that you can actually sell of your own. However, once you've done this successfully for yourself, you can then pitch your friends or family to do the same for them. Offer to do it for them where you do all the work but take a 30% cut, for example. Most people have a whole bunch of stuff that they haven't gotten around to get rid of for whatever reason. Once you've exhausted this with your own stuff, then your friends and your family stuff, now you should have a good idea of what old stuff sells for, which gives you an opportunity to go to garage sales, buy stuff, and then resell it. The next way to make $100 a day in 2021 is the easiest, but also the hardest. That is to invest money, and with the magic of compound interest and dividends for shares or rent for property, $100 a day is $36,500 in a year, or $36,600 in a leap year. Property or stock or ETFs conservatively is approximately a 5% annual return. You can do better, you can do worse, but this is a pretty good reasonable average. In order to earn enough for $100 a day, you would need to have $730,000 invested. So have that money, then invest it, and boom, you'll make $100 a day in 2021 without much effort. Some of the usual options to make money are not necessarily available this year with what's going on, such as Airbnb, where you rent out individual rooms in a house and make a decent profit, but you have to manage it all. Another unique one that unfortunately won't be as available this year is to be an extra on TV or movies. Working as an extra is not consistent depending on where you live. However, if you are flexible and available at different times because you don't work a regular job schedule, this can be a great way to earn money, and usually the rates are high due to strong unions and you get to be around TV or movie production, which sounds fun to friends, but it's also kind of boring. But the pay is good and it's a fun experience, and usually get free food as well. If you can write well, that's another honorable mention as well. That is offering to write for companies. Sales is another option, but that won't fit most people. But if you can do sales, there are plenty of options to work at additional sales jobs, such as either one-offs or more permanent there. One other job suggestion I would make that I did when I was younger is to work in a casino if there's one near you. It's a good paying job even at an entry level. You get various benefits and quite often you end up playing casino games against players. Those players are risking thousands of dollars and you get to play for free as the dealer. More importantly, if you are young, it's a job that allows you to change schedules when you need. So you are not fixed to working the same days every week and can swap with others if something comes up. It's a very flexible job and a good alternative to working in a restaurant or a bar or a cafe. Another honorable mention is to put on events or promote nightclubs if you have a large social network. Not everyone does and that's fine, but if you do have a lot of connections for whatever reason, you can monetize that. Finally, the controversial last option. The easiest way to make $100 a day in 2021 is to work a regular office job. Even an entry-level job will pay you this much, then you can build your way up in a career. It may not be as sexy as other forms of income, but it's a steady living that's often underestimated. I saved it for last because it's probably not going to be what you want to hear, but honestly, I think it's the best option. Building your way up the corporate ladder has so many benefits that go way beyond a quick cash injection. It may not even be the best short-term option in terms of cash, however in the long term you can earn a lot. Let's also be honest, if you work your way up to middle management, you earn a lot of money to do what is relatively an easy job at that point. Alternatively, you can start your own business if you are that way inclined, but don't force it. Businesses aren't for everyone and it's not always what it's cracked up to be. I always say do what you will be obsessed with and you will earn a lot at some point, because eventually it will click, and if you are obsessed, you will find a way to make it work for you. Whereas something that's just okay or you're only doing for the money won't work well in the long run. Good luck and may this be your best year yet, and let me know your thoughts in the comments.